Are you planning to visit the vibrant and beautiful country of Ghana? Before you pack your bags, there's one important step that you need to know: the visa application process. So if it's your dream of applying for a visa to visit Ghana, I'm going to take you through the step-by-step guide application process, how much you're going to pay, the processing time to secure a Ghanaian visa without any hassle or stress. So stay tuned, I'll be right back. Alright, welcome back to the channel. It's Adagya.com. Over here, what we do is we give you all the latest information regarding the travel and tour industries, and also how to apply for visas, from documentation, passport applications, and so on and so forth, to secure a successful visa. So if it's a dream of traveling for pleasure, vacation, studying, or working abroad, then make sure to subscribe to this channel, as we are going to give you the detailed information to your destination country. So let's go to the topic for today. From the bustling streets of Accra to the historic Cape Coast to the warm hospitality of the Ghanaian people, Ghana is a destination that you don't want to miss. But before then, let me handle the paperwork for you to get access to this beautiful country in West Africa. So first of all, I'm going to leave a link to where you can do your visa application. But before we do that, let's know the requirements that you would have to prove or demonstrate in order to get our Ghanaian visa approved. So first of all, we are going to need a valid passport and copies of the biodata page. Right, the biodata page is the side or the portion where you have your picture and your informations, right? And so the next on the list is a valid or duly completed and signed visa application form, which can be obtained from the link that I'm going to leave in the description or the comment section. Also, you would have to provide your business or residential addresses and contact numbers in case they want to contact you. You have to make them available. Also, you have to prove or state your profession. So if you are a student, you have to tell them you are a student by adding an introductory or student ID. And then also, if you are working, you have to also provide proof of employment, right? And also, next on the list, which is very, very important, is your financial statement. You must demonstrate that you have enough financial means to cater for this particular trip. And also, you have to provide proposed date of travel. So you must make known to the counselor of your intended dates for which you are traveling, right? And also, name and addresses of reference and accommodation in Ghana. If it's a hotel, you have to provide the detailed information of the hotel. If you have a host, also you must provide host informations, and so on and so forth. And then also, if you are a minor and you are traveling, you have to provide consent letter from parents for them to give approval or the permission for the counselor to provide the visa to the minor, right? And also, prepaid self-addressed envelope with tracking. Right, applicants are advised to use only UPS and FedEx prepaid services. Any other services will be at the applicant risk, right? So these are the necessary informations that you'll be needing in order to start our Ghanaian visa process. So now let's know this important information. They are very, very key information that we need to know. Now, there are some category of people that may not be able to acquire a Ghanaian visa, right? And these people are person who is of unsound mind. So if you are mentally retarded, I'm sorry, you are not going to be issued a Ghanaian visa. A person declared by medically personnel as medically unsound. So people who have health complications that health or medical practitioners have declared a person to be unsound cannot travel. And then also a person considered to be a security risk, right? No country would want a terrorist or a person of criminal record to enter their country. So that side is also very, very important. And then a person against whom there is a deportation order in force, right? So if a person has breached the immigration rule and then the person is being forced to deport, that person may not be able to use that means as decoy to apply and then move to Ghana, right? And then also a person who has been sentenced in a foreign country for extradition under the Extradition Act 1960. So these are the persons who may not be able to acquire a Ghanaian visa, right? So now let's look at some inoculations. Now, Ghana is one of the countries at the risk of yellow fever transmission, hence the need for all travelers, including those coming from countries with no risk to yellow fever, to Ghana to have a yellow fever vaccination certificate or records indicating their protection from yellow fever. The certificate may be required during the processes of the visa application. An applicant who for medical reason cannot be obtained the vaccination must submit a medical certificate from a doctor. So you should know that health officials at all port of entries carry out rigorous check on travel documents with respect to yellow fever vaccination. So every country that you are traveling to, yellow fever is a must that you have to provide. So Ghana is not an exception. So you must attach your yellow fever before you can be able to enter Ghana, even if your visa has been approved, right? So now let's look at the fees involved. Remember, this application is for applicants applying from the United States, right? So single entry for standard service is $60, and then for express service is $100, and then we have the transit single visa, which is $60, and the express is $100. We also have the transit visa for multiple travels, which is also $100, and then the express one is $200. Now multiple entry visa also costs $100, and then for special service or express is $200, right? Okay, now let's go to the payment method. So Ghana accept online payments via their website. So personal checks and cash payment are not accepted under any circumstances. So you must do all your transactions through the medium of online on the websites that we are going to do the application from. And then let's look at the refund policy. Now, in line with existing statutory directives, applicants are informed that all consular fees are non-refundable once paid to the mission's account. Right? This policy also includes payment made for incomplete and withdrawn application. So when you are doing your application and you are not able to complete it and you do the payment, there's not going to be a refund, right? And also, if your visa is not being issued, also there's no way you are going to get a refund, right? So that is the refund policy Ghana has for applicants applying for visas. Now let's look at the photographs. So with the photo requirements, a colored passport size photo must be uploaded with application before submitting it, and then the photo requirements must be a recent colored taken photo within the 6 months. So it must be printed out in colored and not exceed more than 6 months. Also, background must be on white or off-white in color, right? And then the applicant must be facing forward and looking straight at the camera. Also, must have a plain expression and your mouth closed. All right, there's no way you have to take a passport picture whilst you are smiling. I see some people posing for passport pictures. No, it is not accepted. And then The applicant must also have your eyes open and visible. Applicant must have hair in front of your eyes, must have a head covering unless it's for applicant must not have a head covering unless it's for religious purposes. If you are an Islam or Muslim, it's by your religion to cover your hair when you are a female. So by that one, you can use that medium to take a passport picture and then break that protocol. Okay, so now, must not have anything covering your face, like using glasses, sunglasses, or so on and so forth. So these are the passport photo requirements for the Ghanaian visa process. Now let's look at the processing period. Now, visa will only be issued when all your requirements have been fully satisfied, and then 15 days is required for the processing of the standard one. Applicants are therefore required to deposit their passports together with the completed application form with supporting documents well ahead of time of the proposed date of travel in order to avoid processing delays or possible delays, right? The express service also takes between 7 days to get it processed, right? Now, there are some countries who are being exempted from applying for visas to Ghana, and these countries are countries from the ECOWAS nations. And then you know them already. They are countries within the West African region who are members of the Economic Community of West African States. Those countries are exempted from applying for visas, right? Also, we have those people fall under the category A, and then we have category B. The category B people are holders of diplomatic or service or official passports, and those people are also exempted from applying for visas. Like we have countries like the Brazil, Cuba, Germany, Namibia, China, Sudan, Hungary, India, Iran, Equatorial Guinea, Morocco, St. Kitts and Nevis, Suriname, Venezuela, Malta, Hong Kong, Turkey, United Arab Emirates, and then we have Qatar, right? So those ones, for countries like Qatar, it is only diplomatic passport only that have been accepted. And then also we have those from Hong Kong. Yes, we have diplomatic only. And then that of Turkey also. Now let's look at the category C. Now with those in the category C, we have remember those in the category B, we have exemptions for category B above B. Above shall be for a period of not exceeding 90 days from date of entry. So once you have been given access to the country as a holder of that diplomatic passport, you are required to stay in the country for only 90 days, and then it shouldn't be more. So category C are all nations or nationals of the following countries. We have Jamaica, Bahamas, Kenya, Lesotho, Singapore, Tanzania, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, Uganda, Zimbabwe, Mauritius, Seychelles, Barbados, Eswatini, Rwanda, Guyana, Malawi, and South Africa. South Africa and then St. Vincent and Grenadines. Yeah. So holders of passport of regional economic communities in Africa and then Africa Economic Community, African Union, United Nations, and its specialized agencies. Now, let's look at the category D. It's a list of international organizations with which Ghana has concluded visa exemptions agreement with. For instance, we have the World Bank, the African Development Bank. Also, we have persons in direct airside transit. All persons in direct airside transit are exempted from visa requirements, right? So these are the category of people that do not require visas when traveling to Ghana, right? So as we've known all the requirements that we are supposed to know before applying for a Ghanaian visa, let's look at how we can do this application, the step by step. So for the sake of this video, I'm gonna create an account and then we do the process step by step. Okay, so let me take you to my screen and then let's see how we can do the application. Alright guys, so welcome to my screen. First of all, we are going to visit this website, https://dashboard.ecimsglobal.com. Then we hit enter. I'm going to leave it at the comment or the description side so you can have access to it. So there's been a small announcement on this website and it says that changes in visa application procedure. So applicant will need to create an account to submit their visa applications. Once an account is created, applicants can log in to submit their visa applications online via their account, right? So it means that we are going to do the submission and everything on this medium or this platform. And so please read carefully the requirements and terms and conditions and complete application fully and submit online. Note that you can stop in the middle of the application process and return later to complete the application within the specified validity period. Now remember to lodge your application, including the physical passport, proof of payment, any required document at your selected processing office. Now, please also note that applications processing will only commence on receipt of the hard copies application forms with all required documents and fees at the selected office, at the selected submission office. Okay. Right. So as we have taken notice of this information here, we are going to proceed to create an account. So there's something here that says that applicants with the existing application can create an account and use the retrieve an application button once logged in to retrieve the existing application. So this is a new application portal that has been created, and that if you have created an account with these people, you can link it to new application that you've done, and then you will still have access to your old or previous information. So let's start here by signing up. So over here, once we are on this website, we are going to click on sign up. So first of all, over here, we are going to write our name here. So let me put my name here and then my email here. And then we are going to create a password. Remember to use alphanumeric special characters as password. Okay, so now let's click the register. Alright, so over here, what is going to happen is they are going to send a one-time PIN, an OTP, to the email that we just created, and I have that already. So let me click OK and then hit the verification. So it's 081471, and then we hit verified. Okay, so we can see that the account has been successfully registered. So let's hit OK. And then we are still getting the information that we read earlier, right? So let's close this and then sign in. So right after, let's hit the login and then, okay, so we could see that the dashboard has been created for us. So Ghana Embassy, we have the Ghana flag over here, and then visa application. So all our visa applications will be displayed, and then passport application. So for those of you who have applied for a Ghanaian passport, this is where all those applications are going to be, right? So I have a video on how to create a Ghanaian passport in the video, so you can navigate through the videos and then select the video and then watch how you can also apply for your Ghanaian passport. Or I'm going to leave the link in the description so you can also learn how to apply for a Ghanaian passport if you have it or it's expired and you want to do a new application, right? So once you are on this side, you could see that your information or your name is being displayed here, and then we have apply for new visa and then retrieve an application. So for the sake of this video, let's click on apply for new visa, and then over here we're going to select the country from which the applicant is resident of. So let me choose any of it. So let me use USA for instance. So these are for people in the Americas, right? Northern and Southern America. This is where you are going to do your application from. Okay, so now let me click United States and then we hit continue. Okay, so we could see that on this dashboard we've been directed to the consular section of the Embassy of Ghana in Washington DC. We have their contact information, their email and address, and then website over here. Okay, so now in order for us to begin, let's look at this one. Applicants are strongly advised to secure a visa before purchasing ticket. And then also applicants' details must be used even if payment is being made by a sponsor, right? So if someone is doing it on your behalf, applicant's name have to be used instead of using the sponsor's details in the process of completing this information. Okay, so now let's look at another important information here. It says that all incomplete or missing documents will be sent back to the applicant at their own expenses, right? So please read the entitlements to a Ghanaian visa carefully before you can proceed and then do your application. Okay, so first of all, it says that all visitors to Ghana must be in possession of valid passport. Visitors entering Ghana must have valid entry visa issued by a Ghana diplomatic mission or consular abroad or any other visa issuing authority mandated by the Ghana government to act on its behalf. ECOWAS nationals and those of other countries with which government of Ghana has specific bilateral agreements are exempted, right? So I think we've spelled out all these informations earlier. And then also let's look at conditions for issuing of visa. Visas may be granted to personnel of international organizations and visitors to Ghana for tourism, study, business, or transit. The visa may be granted for single or multiple entry. For first-time visitors are not eligible to 1 year entry visa and above. Now, visitors traveling on business are required to furnish evidence of the fact that a letter from their firm, while those traveling at the invitation of Ghanaian national residents or Ghanaian institution should furnish a letter of invitation from the host, right? So if you happen to be someone who has been invited by a Ghanaian resident, it means that the person would have to attach a letter, an invitation letter, to the person applying for the visa. and then you proceed with the application. Also, let's look at something important here. It says that application for further extension to visitors permit must be made to the Controller Generals of the Ghana Immigration Service for consideration. So in the case of you being a tourist visa holder and you come to Ghana, and after spending some time you want to extend your stay, you would have to do that with the controller of the Ghana Immigration Service Director, right? So persons who enter the country as visitors are not permitted to take part or take up any employment related activities, even if there happens to be a vacancy on the immigrant quota of a prospective employer. So this is a tourist visa and it doesn't warrant you or gives you the permit or mandate to carry out activities that is going to pay you, right? Now, professionals like doctors, lawyers, nurses are required to provide particulars of their qualification in order that the eligibility of their registration may be determined, right? So if you are in that category, you have to provide evidence of such so that they are going to determine that you are eligible in that qualification. Okay, so all these are information that we've shared earlier on. So let's hit on I have read and understood the terms and conditions so that we can proceed with the visa application. Okay, so now we've been directed to the visa form. So over here, the forms are in 6 sections, right? So first of all, the visa type that you are applying for have to be selected. So if you are applying for a business, crew, diplomat, exchange visa, family visas, international organization, media representative, student visa, temporary workers, blah 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 blah, you are going to select one of them. So let's assume I selected tourist. Okay, now travel details or particulars. So you are going to select temporary visitors for tourism. Now, so based on the information that we've selected, which is the temporary visitor for tourism, the following supportive documents will be required to be uploaded with the application. So over here, we are going to add, aside the documents that we are being required to provide, we are going to add travel itinerary, invitation letter or confirmed hotel booking, signed letter of consent for applicants under the age of 18 from parents, and then valid Ghana identification of host in Ghana, preferably Ghana card or the Ghanaian passport. Alternatively, confirm hotel booking can be also used, right? Okay. So over here, what they are trying to say is if you have someone who has invited you, which is your host, is going to provide an identity document, which is a Ghana card or a passport. But if you don't have any of them and you have a hotel booking also, that one can be used in place of the identification, right? Okay, so now let's go to the passport type. So you are going to, if you are using an ordinary passport, you select it. If you are going to also use a refugee's passport, then you select it. So let's select ordinary passport. And then over here, since we selected United States, you are going to indicate your nationality. Maybe I'm an American. So let me select American. Nationality at birth. I'm an American, born in America. Other nationality, let me leave that side. If it happens, if let's assume you had a nationality in a different country, but you currently reside in America, you are going to put that side here. And if you have other nationality also, you can just write it over here. And then visa validity. So over here, you are going to select, if it's multiple entry, you are going to select. If it's single entry, you are going to select single entry. So let me select single entry. And then the processing office. Over here, we are going to select the processing office where you want to attend or submit your visa application. So we have the premium office in Washington, D.C., and then we have the normal processing office also in the same location. So you are going to select one of them, and then the service type. If you want a standard service or if you want the express one, we select it. Okay. And then mode of submission. So if you want it to be done with the postal service, you are going to select this one. Okay. So now next is we are going to fill our personal information, right? I'm going to fill our personal information. So over here, you select your title, Mr. Mrs. Depending on your location, you select it. And then your surname, you write your surname here, your previous name or maiden name. And then you come to your other name, which is your first name, right? And then you come and select your gender. If you are male, you select; female, you select. So, and then over here, you come and specify your marital status: single, married, widow, divorced, your current occupation. You select any of them with respect to your profession. Then your date of birth, place of birth, mode of communication. How do you want to be contacted? Email and text. So you select one of them. You provide your email here, and then you confirm the same email address also here. And then you provide your phone number. You provide your phone number here. So you are going to provide 2 phone numbers, which is the same as what you are going to provide here. You are going to confirm the same number also here. And then we go to the travel details, right? So with the travel details, you are going to give the duration of how long you want to stay in Ghana. So you are going to specify over here. If it's weeks, months, years, days, you specify it. And then you provide the date for which you intend to travel. So if it's by air, by land, by sea, you specify, and then you provide a date over here. So do you have return ticket? If yes, you specify. If no, you specify. For the sake of this video, I would advise you specify, you write no, because your visa has to be approved before you can purchase a ticket, right? So you have to select no. And then date of last visit to Ghana. Maybe you visited Ghana before, so you have to provide that date, the last time that you visited Ghana. And then mode of financial mode. So if you are going to use cash or card or cash and card, you specify, right? So mostly I would advise you use the cash and card. There are instances whereby you will be using cash, other instances also you'll be using your card. And then over here, financial means at applicant's disposal. So over here, you are going to give out how much you have at your disposal for the purpose of this travel. So if it's $2,000, you specify 2,000. And then next, we are going to provide our passport number here, place of issue, date of issue, and expiry date, the date that the passport expires. We provide that one also here. And then next, have you ever been refused a visa to Ghana? If yes, you specify and give the reason. You give details of it. If no, you select no. Have you ever been refused entry to Ghana? No. Do you have a criminal record? No. Do you suffer from a mental disorder? No. Do you suffer from any communicable disease? No. Have you ever visited Ghana before? No. Have you ever been deported to or from Ghana? You specify all these things. Then you hit save and go so we can be moved to the second step. Right. So all this information has to be met before we can proceed. We can proceed to the second step. So these are the steps involved. These are the steps involved. It's very simple. So once you proceed, you are going to provide your family informations, employment informations. You upload your documents right after you do your payment, and then you submit the information. Right, you submit your application. So once you are done, everything is going to be communicated via your email, and then you have your Ghana visa approved. So this is how Ghana visa are being applied in the United States, or for those of you in the Americas. Right. All right, thanks so much for watching the video. I hope you've learned something today on how to apply for the Ghana visa if you're applying from the United States. And I hope you really understood every step-by-step guide that I gave earlier. I hope you've been inspired a lot. If there's something that you want me to elaborate more on, you can write that in the comment section, and I promise to give you answers to it. Thanks so much for being with me throughout this video. If you've not subscribed to the channel, kindly hit the subscription button, and then let's increase the following. You can also hit the like button if you feel like you like the way I took my time to teach you this tutorial. And also, if there's something to add up to improve the quality of this video, kindly let me know in the comment section, and then we work on that. So see you in our next video. The channel has been adagya.com. Spread the love by telling others to join and watch more of our videos. Peace out.